Hurrah.
Hurrah!
You're like hidden behind me.
Look at this.
It's an earthquake.
Vibration.
You probably need to be here, I think. Yeah, so we do this. There we go. Josephus says 5x5. Good morning, everybody. Preemptively, for everybody who's going to complain about the audio, I've done nothing. And every show, there's people who are like, Bear, your audio is terrible. And then there's people who are like, wow, the audio got so much better. I don't know what you did, but thanks. I did nothing. Nothing. I don't change it from show to show.
It's true.
And I will remind all of us, there's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of YouTube content creators that are having audio issues as well. So, D'Alon B says, nah, audio is great. Sweet. Audio is great, says Kenneth. There's two witnesses. Audio loud and clear, Travis. All right. In the mouths of two or three, let a thing be established. Beautiful.
Nailed it.
Good morning, everyone. We are happy to be back. I'm here with my brother, Tactically Torah.
What up, y'all?
From the interwebs and from real life, if you're cool enough to know him in real life. We just got back from training law enforcement in Georgia. We spent 5 days training and about 8 days total between travel and Shabbat and all of that, and it's good to be back. A lot of lessons learned for them, a lot of lessons relearned for us.
For sure.
And in the 8 days of being gone, I was not overly involved with the news cycle.
Yeah.
Which was good. It's nice. And I found myself this morning listening to a podcast that I listened to, The Wright Report with Brian Dean Wright, who's a former CIA officer, blah, 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 which I've talked about before. It's so interesting to me how many of these personalities have ties to the intelligence community.
Yeah.
Which got me thinking yet again this morning, why is it that the CIA is trying to break the world? And I use CIA colloquially because there's myriad different agencies that most people have never even heard of.
Yeah.
Inside of the intelligence community, inside of the military-industrial complex. I use the phrase CIA as a touch point for understanding, right? So when I say CIA, I'm not just talking about the Central Intelligence Agency, although I am in part talking about the Central Intelligence Agency. I'm talking about this conglomeration, this machine that's been built called the intelligence community and the military-industrial complex. And don't worry, there's some news we're gonna look at today that supports the idea that the reptilian overlords, for lack of a better word, are trying to break the world. Why? What's the aim here?
Man, they've been going after it, for such a long time. I've said it a few times before, but as far as I've tracked, it's been like 1984 and George Bush Sr., perpetuating this mystique and talking about some form of a great reset and all of that. And I think, there's some form of biblical construct that's at play, What's up, guys? Sarah, shalom.
Sarah. Continue.
So, yeah, I think we're just in a stage where all of these things must happen in order to bring about the end kind of thing. Or maybe not, both are incredibly possible. But there's some big things that are at play, The financial system on a verge of collapse worldwide. And I don't think this is that live stream, but
yeah, well, we'll see. It's gonna be it'll be what we make it, brother. So you bring up the Bushes, right?
Oh yeah.
I think it started earlier than that.
For sure.
To which I'll go to Genesis chapter 3. And the Nahash, the serpent, Satan, the shining one. That's what Nahash means, the shining one. And so whose light? whose light? Are we in the light, or are we in an inadequate worldly reflection of the light? The Nahash was more crafty than all the lives of the field which Yahweh Elohim, the Lord God, had made. And he said to the woman, which always represents the bride, the church, believers, right? Is it true that Elohim has said, do not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the Nahash, we are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, do not eat it, nor touch it, lest you die. Which is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
Which is what we're going to talk about AI here in a minute, right? And the Nahash said to the woman, you shall certainly not die. That sounds a lot like genetic manipulation, anti-aging, uploading your consciousness into the robots. For Elohim knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be like Elohim. You yourselves shall be gods, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes. Pleasant to the eyes. Interesting. And the tree was desirable to make one wise. Now, there's a difference between information and knowledge. Information is just data. Knowledge is information that's been operationalized. It's been put into, you can put it to work. And she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Now they're both fallen. And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made loin coverings for themselves.
So it's interesting that it says there, she gave the fruit to her husband who was with her. Mm-hmm. So were they separate? Because a lot of people teach that, oh, well, she was all alone with the serpent and all of this nonsense. But he was clearly there.
Yep. And, yeah, there's a whole teaching in that.
Yeah.
Men, you were supposed to serve as a conduit for protection, provision, and blessing of your household. Conduit for, because that's the domain of the Most High. But Ephesians chapter 5, you are the representative of the Most High in your family here on earth. And you are to protect your wife from all threats, including herself when necessary.
Yeah.
And they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking about in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim among the trees of the garden. They hid themselves among the trees of the garden, that which was pleasant to the eyes. So let's go to the 7 deadly sins here. Lust, food, gluttony, right? Lethargy, the cool of the day, etc., right? They hid themselves from God via all these different mechanisms.
Right.
Please don't see me. Let me try and fill this God-shaped hole with anything but God. Okay? And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam. We've all been called, right? We've all been called. At least if you're not a robot or a reptile or an NPC, we've all been called. You can read 1 Peter 2, verse 21. For this we have been called, the Messiah having suffered for your sins, that you would walk in his steps, that in him there is no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth, that being reviled, suffered, but did not revile in return, who suffered for your sins, for you were like sheep who had gone astray, but have now returned to the shepherd and overseer of your souls.
Yeah,
okay?
We, the collective plural.
And he said, Adam said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, so I hid myself. I was afraid. Because I was naked, I can't let you see. Right, we all go through this. If God really knew who I was, he wouldn't love me. It's like, yeah, that's the point, dummy. He does.
Knew you before I formed you.
And he, Yahweh, said, who made you to know that you were naked? Who hurt you to the point where you were ashamed of presenting yourself to the Most High? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? How many of us every day eat of this tree that we're not commanded to eat of this tree? It's not for us. Isaiah says your sins have created a separation between you and the Most High. Okay? And the man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I ate. Weakness. There's a Torah for this. A man upon first hearing can reverse the word of his wife. Upon first hearing. But if he lets it go, then her word stands.
It almost sounds like he's putting the responsibility on the father.
Mm-hmm.
The woman you gave me.
Yep.
Like, you screwed up, dude. Like, excuse me?
And so there's a pattern of behavior here as well, right?
Yeah.
The father gives us a wife, and your wife belonged to Yah before she was your wife, right? And she still belongs to the Most High, whether she knows it or not, whether you know it or not, right? Same thing with your children. And so to be a fully actualized man, wife and children, because now you are thinking outside of yourself. The moves that you make don't just inform your own self, but they inform your wife and your children and your progeny down the line. And so you have to think beyond today, the next minute, the next hour. I'm just going to eat this apple because I'm hungry. Now,
Right.
What are the implications for my offspring if I eat this apple? And we are all metaphorically living in the implications of our great-great-granddaddy Adam eating this apple when he shouldn't have.
Right.
Or whatever it might be, the fruit, right? And we're close to where I'm going with this. And Yahweh Elohim said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" And the woman said, "The Nahash, the shining one, Hasatan, deceived me, and I ate." And Yahweh Elohim said to the Nahash, "Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all the livestock and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you are to go, and eat dust all the days of your life. And I put enmity between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. So there is seed of the Nahash on the earth. He shall crush your head, and you shall crush his heel." So there's an element on earth, and it's been on earth, I would submit, since Genesis 3, that we have been at enmity with,
Right.
that has sought to undermine who we actually are and deplete the inheritance of man created in God's image. Now, there's a Torah for inheritance. There's many Torah for inheritance instructions, right? And I'm not allowed to diminish the inheritance of my brother, and he's not allowed to diminish my inheritance. But there has been an active move for millennia to diminish our inheritance, to take our eyes off of the Most High, and to dwell amongst the trees of an artificial garden, and to input all these things into our eyes and our ears and our mouth that are not from the Father, that serve as a distraction. The shining one. It's almost like a signal mirror,
Right.
if you think about it,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like a star flash mirror. And as a result, we focus on the horizontal plane rather than the vertical plane, which increases our propensity to sin, which creates further separation between us and the Most High, which makes the hole in our hearts bigger, which means we're even more naked when we stand in front of the Father, which means our ego is even less likely to allow us to present ourselves to our Maker, so that we can have at-one-ment atonement, so that we can operate vertically, not just horizontally.
Yeah.
And so I think this has been going on for a long time. To what end? Ephesians 6, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against nations and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. Therefore, put on the whole armor of Elohim. It's not just put on the whole armor of Elohim. There's a brief first. There's an upward here. Who are we fighting against? It's not just flesh and blood. It's nations and principalities. But we can see nations and principalities today when we talk about America, when we talk about the nation state of Israel, when we talk about Russia and Ukraine, when we talk about China, nations and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. When we talk about the Jeffrey Epstein files, when we talk about the CIA, the DIA, the NSA, pick an alphabet soup agency here, the Rothschilds, the Council on Foreign Relations, the 300, the Illuminati, etc. Yeah, nations and principalities, bro. And that's what we're fighting against. It's not just flesh and blood. And I would beg that you would consider, when we fight against flesh and blood, why are we fighting against flesh and blood? It's because it's been informed, it's been corrupted by the shining one. And the flesh and blood that we do find ourselves fighting against are proxies for the nations and principalities, which is why we have to have the whole armor of the Most High on, right? And which is you need physical armor for the physical plane, but let me burst everybody's bubble. The physical plane, we're not meant to exist here for very long. We're meant to exist in eternity.
Yeah.
That's where we're supposed to be.
See, I wonder, so as you were talking about all of that, what came to mind was Isaiah 6. And, in our absence, some of the individuals whom we love very much, led worship and played a song on Shabbat called You Are Holy.
Mm-hmm.
And that one song depicts this picture that is presented in Isaiah chapter 6, where he finds himself completely in the presence of the Father, and he completely recognizes his own depravity and his uncleanness. He says, "Woe is me, for I am a man of unclean lips."
Yep.
And here I am in the presence of the creator of the universe, the sovereign Yahuwah, right? And one of the seraphims flies down with a coal from the ever-burning altar, touches it to Isaiah's lips, and cleanses him. And I would submit that, the response that the Father was probably looking for from Adam was a response of repentance rather than deflection.
Yep.
A recognition that I'm so sorry that I did this.
You're right. I messed that one up.
Yeah. And who is anybody to say that, would this potentially have been different? Maybe not, because there's consistency in Scripture that we still suffer the ramifications of our actions, right? But the heart posture behind that is entirely different. That's all I got.
Bless you, Tony. So, with that 17 minutes of preamble, which I think is necessary and good, it's the exact opposite of how one should run a YouTube channel per the algorithm. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Like, for example, Tony says he's been here since before the fire, so that's more than 7 years ago. I don't run a YouTube channel the way that the algorithm says that I should. Do I suffer because of that? Yeah, algorithmically.
Me too, Tony.
Do you get fed because of that? Yes.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 3:15, and I shall raise up shepherds, pastors, ra'ah, over you, that shall feed you after my own heart, that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Okay, well, that's the goal. And I don't know if you guys know this, but before every live stream, I pray, or we pray. I say, "Hey, Father, just let me say what you need said today." Okay. So apparently that needed to be said. That's for somebody out there. So with that, I wanted to look at this. There's been some reports in the news that have come out that MK Ultra is ongoing and that it never ended. And that's something that I've said to you all for years, at least half a decade, that it would be unreasonable to think that the intelligence community, the deep state, the military-industrial complex would build a program like that and then just turn it off. And so MK Ultra and other programs associated with it, it's not just about mind control of individual subjects. There was also a portion of that program that was used specifically to craft narratives that were then perpetuated by people in the air quote media. And so as what we call traditional media, the news on the television has begun to wane. Probably starting about a decade ago as streaming services really started ramping up and social media 1.0 and the whole nine.
Oh, yeah.
As the traction for traditional media began to wane, I began to see people with questionable ties to questionable organizations moving into the public spotlight, gaining nonsensical traction almost overnight. I have a hard time with people that are an overnight success. It makes me wonder why.
Right.
Why is this voice being amplified where others are being quieted or silenced, right? And one of the reasons I can come up with for that is because these voices that are being amplified are perpetuating a narrative that's in the best interest of the people that call the shots.
Right.
Those people, call them whatever you want. The reptilian overlords. I'll probably get one of those banners under the live stream again today. The reptile humanoids are not real, blah, blah. Okay, whatever, man. I mean, I just read to you about one in Genesis 3, didn't I? So, secretive program linked to torture allegations. Updates emerge on MK Ultra style operations. A recent revelation has emerged regarding a program potentially affiliated with MK Ultra that's reportedly operational as of 2025. While details remain murky, due to file destruction, its ties to federal agencies raise serious concerns about ongoing human rights violations. The facility in question has established connections with federal agencies such as DARPA and military technology contractors, hinting at a deeper involvement in national security research. Sources within the intelligence community expressed doubts about its independence from the CIA oversight. One source said their methods and torture techniques mirror those of known MK Ultra programs. Now, it's going to sound a little bit wacky to you, but we're going to go a little bit deep, okay? Part of what happens in these torture sessions, because these methods are mirrored by other bad guys that we target with Caleb House. And therefore, I can't go too deep into this. But it is the goal to produce at a minimum MPD, multiple personality disorder, if not DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. Because if that person ever gets the opportunity to sit on a witness stand, they will be unable to testify because of the fractures in their personality. It is also my belief from a pastoral standpoint that it also can put fractures into the soul, which have to be knit back together again.
Thank you for saying that. I was just thinking, because, think about the spiritual implications as to what these principalities and rulers of darkness and these entities that are calling the shots and making all of these control efforts in the physical realm and the fracturing of the soul. It's almost like they are soul farming.
That's a good word for it, soul farming. Then you get into, proved or disproved or questionable, who knows, but the allegations of things like frazzle drip still exist. The allegations of things like adrenochrome still exist.
Yep.
They're still out there. And I can tell you, I have a almost 9-year-old sitting 5 feet, 6 feet from where I'm sitting right now, which is part of why I'm watching my language and being dancing around some of these subjects. But I can tell you, inducing fear into the victim is absolutely part of the program. And it's done intentionally because they want to break the person into pieces, fracture that individual. And if we go all the way back to the garden, right, we go from tree to trees, the tree of life to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, to all the trees of the garden, broken into pieces, all these little different facets of the individual, where it's like, instead of being whole, echad, one with the Most High, and it's done intentionally, and it's because the personage that these people serve has been in the business of breaking people since Genesis chapter 3.
Oh yeah.
And there's only one way to unbreak people, which is why I'm very questionable about any type of restoration or rehabilitation program that's not Christ-centered, because we can curtail certain behaviors, We can put backstops in place for the individual to not stray too deeply, too far off the path, but they're going to because they're people.
Yeah.
And there's only one way I know of, myself personally and hundreds of other witnesses on this. There's only one way I know of to put broken people back together again. And so a lot of times when we think of broken, we think of an individual that has been broken. We don't think about an individual that has been broken into pieces. And I'm telling you, they do that. And they do that intentionally. We've seen it. We've dealt with it. We've had to put those people back together as well. And that's part of this MK Ultra thing that's going on here, is who is out there that's producing and perpetuating narratives, and what are they saying? Why are they being amplified? Which goes into, we've talked about this a million times on camera, source selection for the information that I'm going to receive. I need to be really careful about which tree in the garden I'm eating from as far as what truth is, because every one of these different air quote news sources, they've all got an agenda, and they all point back to, in my mind, super big picture, the biggest picture we could possibly have, purposely fracturing the United States of America and the world. Mm-hmm. And that's being done on purpose, because the personage that they serve is in the business of purposefully fracturing people. Now, the personage, Elohim made flesh, that I serve, there's this wonderful story of Elisha and Gehazi, his little buddy, as Shomer is under siege by the Assyrians. And Gehazi is looking off the wall from the city, and he goes, "My Lord, we're surrounded." New Living Bear translation. Mm-hmm. And Elisha says, "No, Gehazi, look." And Gehazi looks and he says, "Lift your eyes." What does that mean? Get out of the horizontal and get into the vertical. Gehazi, lift your eyes. And Gehazi does. And he goes, "My Lord, they're surrounded." And Elisha says, yes, they are the ones that are surrounded. And all the mountaintops all around Shomer are covered with the angelic host of the heavens. And that night, one angel, we don't even have his name, right? Like, that's where this guy was in the rank structure. Right. One unnamed angel goes, "Bear, do you really believe this?" "Yes, I'm a biblical literalist. I really do." Even if the people of the day who wrote these things were trying to describe concepts that were way above their pay grade with words that they didn't quite fully understand, is there more there? Yes, there's the parashat, the remez, the drash, and the sod, for sure. But I believe what the Bible says. I believe everything, and there's the historicity of the Bible is unassaulted. Every day there's more science, there's more archaeology, there's more mathematics that support what is written in the Bible. So one unnamed angel goes into the crowd of Assyrians that night, the army of the Assyrians, and slaughters 185,000 Assyrians.
You see Michael up there being like, "Okay, good training up."
Yep,
great job,
great.
All right.
You're bringing it in for the AAR.
Yeah, right.
A little sloppy with that sword, but we're going to work on that. You know? I noticed you didn't search those guys, but that's okay.
Right.
They're dead. So, and the Assyrians unasked the AO post haste, and the siege of Shomer is broken.
Yeah.
And that's just one unnamed. It wasn't Michael. It wasn't Gabriel. It wasn't Raphael or Uriel or Azazel. It was none of them. It was just some guy. They sent in a lance corporal.
Right.
And they're like, "Hey, man, go handle that." Like, okay, cool. And 185,000 bad guys destroyed that evening. You also get into...
What's up, Iridium Group? Shalom, brother.
What's up, Brother Ed? Think about Daniel, right? And it's Gabriel who's coming to Daniel.
Yeah. And
he says, "Hey, sorry I was delayed. I was fighting the Prince of Persia for the last 3 weeks. In fact, I had to call upon the chief messenger, Michael, to come assist me."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does that tell us? Well, it goes back to Paul. We fight not against flesh and blood, Ephesians 6, right? So there are things that are happening that are literally and figuratively above our pay grade.
Yeah.
Right? And
absolutely.
We're down here like, God, why don't you love me? There's only an eighth of a tank of fuel in my truck. And he's like, would you shut up? Like, do you not have your daily bread? Yes, I have my daily bread. Okay, cool. But it's all this fear mongering that's being perpetuated from all these different sources, and then individuals. And I would submit, based upon the people that we have worked with, the people that are selected to be broken are some of the most powerful, and I don't mean physically, I mean spiritually and intellectually powerful people I've ever encountered.
Yeah.
Right? Like your vibe attracts your tribe, right? Your soul knows when you run into somebody that's got it, when they have the light in them too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And some of these people I've met that have been intentionally, systematically broken, they're not just normal people.
No.
They're heroes. They're heroes, and they don't even know they're heroes yet. They're heroes for the kingdom of the Most High, which if I was the bad guy, I would want to take them off the chessboard too. And so it's intentional.
Yeah.
This is intentional. So, MK, why do you care? MK Ultra's still in play. That's why. Hi, Ma. Good morning. Okay. Let's move along over to here. This is coming from RT. Epstein's accomplice moved to minimum security prison camp. Ghislaine Maxwell, we all know who she is, has been moved to a low-security federal prison in Florida to a new facility in Texas. The abrupt transfer follows a meeting between Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison term for trafficking, and Deputy U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanchet. The details of the meeting have not been made public. The move was officially confirmed by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Prisons on Friday, with the agency providing no explanation for the decision. Quote, we can confirm Maxwell is in the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons at the federal prison camp Bryan in Bryan, Texas, the Bureau of Prisons said in a statement. Federal prison camps are the least secure correctional facilities with the lowest guard-to-convict ratio. The inmates, predominantly white-collar criminals and nonviolent offenders, are housed in dormitories and enjoy assorted rehabilitation programs. Maxwell was questioned by Blanche twice in July. Yeah, why didn't they question her sooner? Because they have no real interest in prosecuting anything here. That's why. They've had her for what, 6 years?
Yeah.
And they're just getting around to questioning her now. So if we understand the strategic motivations, which we just discussed from Genesis 3 forward, if we understand the strategic motivations, that helps inform what they do at the operational and the tactical level. Well, how come they haven't been asking her questions for the last 6 years? Because they never intend to do anything with that information anyway. They're asking her questions now because there's been a significant amount of backlash from the constituency saying, hey, what's happening with this Epstein stuff? Like, Go ahead.
How much of this move, providing benefit of the doubt on, for example, the side of Trump, right? How much of this move was her being like, I'm not going to say anything until I'm in a better facility. Because that's quid pro quo. It's
yeah, that's
I'll help you, but you're gonna get me out of here. Right?
Well, and
I'm gonna have better situation.
What I'd like to know is what the visitor logs for Ghislaine looked like before.
Oh, for sure.
Todd Blanche
Yeah.
went to see her, because she was prepped by whoever it was, whoever they are, she was prepped by they. And that they still have leverage on her.
Yeah.
Everybody's leveraged, right? So there's somebody or something that she cares about that she has been leveraged by. Yeah. And they've had a minimum of 6 years to do it, and they very likely, during her entire career with Epstein, she was leveraged anyway.
Right.
And so there was probably a conversation or a series of conversations as a reminder of, hey, remember, we can hurt you in these following ways. Now, when you talk to the Department of Justice, you will say these things because these things are red herrings, they're traps, they're, whatever. Direct them in this direction. You will not say these things. And all of that has been dovetailed into the air quote files that Pam Bondi has had on her desk for the last 8 months that are that are nothing,
Right.
right? And so we're never going to get the truth on this. But I think we all already know the truth on this, or we have enough of the Spirit to discern what truth looks like in this,
Yeah.
whether we have the details or not. The details, I'll tell you this, if they were to release all of the details, 99 point something percent of the populace wouldn't be able to stomach them.
Oh, for sure.
It's as simple as that.
And my mind goes to, you think about, because the next section there kind of talks about Donald Trump potentially issuing a pardon.
Yep.
If he is, well, that's all the way not a good thing, which tells you pretty much where he stands. Or this is an opportunity to create a narrative to turn the populace against him.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, both are bad,
So I think she's being moved to a low security prison because there's some red herrings in this reporting here.
Yeah.
So the development comes amid rumors that Epstein's accomplice could ultimately be granted a pardon by U.S. President Donald Trump. Speaking to Newsmax on Friday, however, Trump claimed the matter has not been raised officially. Quote, I'm not allowed to do it. I'm allowed to do it, but nobody's asked me to do it. I know nothing about the case, Trump stated when asked about the nature of the recent questioning of Maxwell. Now he knows nothing about the case. The U.S. president suggested Blanche, quote, just wants to make sure that innocent people aren't hurt, end quote, should additional documents related to the Epstein probe be released to the public. Minimum security facility, there's probably, so if I'm the bad guy, let me put on my I'm the bad guy hat. Cool. I'm going to have people inside of the Bureau of Prisons. And make no mistake, just because people wear a uniform, have a gun, and have a badge doesn't mean that they're good people. There are bad people in every organization. There's good people who have been co-opted. Mice. Money, influence, coercion, and extortion.
Yeah.
Okay? They've been co-opted. Because a lot of these people don't make enough money. They have habits that cost a lot of money. They find somebody who's got gambling debts or whatever, and they say, hey, Bill, here's $50K. All right, we're going to pay off your debt. But now your debt is with us. We need you to do this, this, and this, or otherwise Susie's going to find out. Wouldn't that suck if Susie found out? Yeah, that'd be terrible. I'd lose my wife, lose my kids. Okay, well, nobody has to know anything. We just need you on this day. This door needs to be unlocked or whatever, right? So if I was, and make no mistake, this happens 24/7, 365 around the world, okay? And locks mean nothing. I just unlocked it. We were at a police facility in Georgia, and there was a gate that was locked that I needed to get into. I unlocked it in under 30 seconds.
Yep.
In broad daylight. Okay?
To which I was appreciative because it allowed me to do my job more effectively.
To conduct PT in the playground. And I'm no one, right? I'm no one. So there'll be an accident, and Ghislaine will stumble and fall and hit her head and have an aneurysm, or she'll trip into a sharpened toothbrush, or insert thing here.
Right. Or be suicided by the Clintons.
Yep. Or low security. Another way we could go with this is that there's a riot at this facility, and boom, she's in the wind. She's gone again. Lost our star witness.
Right.
Now we can't prosecute the Epstein files without our star witness. There'll be a worldwide manhunt, and she'll be on a beach somewhere sipping a Mai Tai, probably with security provided through your taxpayer dollars somewhere. So, but we're never gonna get, these answers are not coming, and the answers we do get cannot be trusted, is kind of my point on this, which brings me to my next thing here. I do want to talk about this. I also want to get more coffee. Lauren, what happened to your outfit?
Sarah had to go to a meeting.
Oh,
I
okay.
sent her a picture and
Okay. While I'm getting coffee, do you want to come over here and talk at the people for a minute?
Okay.
Do it.
Honey, do you want to join as well? Huh? What? Okay. All right.
Fine, don't come over here and be white with me.
That's Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday's mandatory. Today's Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, you can go with your man.
Hello and welcome to Refuge Radio. I have a really good radio voice. Hello everyone. What is up? I was wearing a green, oh that's the camera. I was looking there.
Right.
I was wearing a green Power Ranger suit, but Sarah, who got it for me, is not here, so you guys don't get to see it. Sorry. Where are these my goodies right here?
Yep.
We have a couple of really good deals going on. First of all, I'm about to pick the winner for the Wilderness Responder course. If you got entered into that last week and you think you might win, be checking your email. I'm going to be sending it out today. We actually just got our winner of the grand giveaway.
The guy from Kentucky who won the wilderness class needs to email us.
Oh, yes. If you were at KSL and you won the Wilderness Responder spot that was given away at KSL, please email us so that we can get you put into the system and get you added to our exclusive platform where we go over your gear layout, all your things that you need, messaging. There's going to be a meeting beforehand before we actually go to the Wilderness Responder. So make sure if you were the guy that won that at KSL that you let us know. So yeah, we found out the winner for the grand giveaway. You guys might have known about that one. That one was for any new customer. All you had to do was sign up for our emails, and you got entered in to win $1,000 to the store.
Dang.
So Michelle, be looking in your email.
That's Andara.
Hank the donkey for the win. Oh my gosh. White Power Rangers. It's just because I like green. Green's my favorite color. She's got good jeans. Who has good jeans? Me? Thank you. These jeans are all right. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Okay.
I don't like them.
They mean jeans with the G.
Oh, with a G.
Yeah.
G-E-N-E.
What's in your mouth?
Got it.
Oh gosh. I thought, hi, Saucin. I swear I thought I saw Sarah's face right there. Anyways, okay, back to it. Squirrel. We are having a flash sale on ETDs. So our here, hold that. This one, I need to put that video back up of UNT putting this one on, but
Is that the battle rap?
this
That's
is the
the
battle
battle
rap. This thing is amazing.
It's awesome.
Amazing. I love that.
Is this one
Amazing.
popped? Do you want to apply this one? Let them see how it works.
Yeah, he can put it on
Give
there.
it to him, Pop.
Nice. Put it on, babe.
Nice.
So all of our ETDs right now
Doing
are on sale. What's our code for the ETDs?
ETD 30.
ETD 30 gets you $30 off.
No,
Nope.
that would be impossible. I would owe them money on an ETD.
30% off. That's right. Because most of these
you're
aren't
so
$30.
so good at this.
I'm really good at my job, you guys.
Here,
She
type
math
in
good.
double
And then the other flash sale we have going on
dot
is
refuge.
the Bearman. Everything from minor cuts to trauma. It covers it. So I need to change that
The
because I can't enter
minimum
that anymore.
bear.
This one is Bear 40, and you actually get $40 off. Okay, $40 off of that. I'll let you come back.
Let me, yeah.
I'll let you come back.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Kind of. Kind of did.
Well, see, now I gotta go over here. I gotta do this.
The banner still says.
And that's what I'm looking for. And then I can grab this box. See, I can make it bigger, just like that. And so now they'll be able to see, boom. All right, which arm? I need to avoid an Elon salute, right?
See.
Okay.
It's the battle of bandages. The battle bandage.
So this thing is phenomenal, the battle wrap. I really like it.
So first, we got this awesome bit of gauze here that I'm not necessarily going to remove that unless you want me to.
Go for it, man. That one was popped.
It was.
Show the people.
So take this off right here. See? All that gauze
It's a
right
huge
there.
gauze pad.
Huge gauze.
It's like a 9x12 gauze pad.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you can leave it folded up depending on the wound that you have.
Yep.
Or if you have a larger wound, you can fold it out like that. huge.
So say he's just got maybe just a massive burn right here, just a really gnarly wound.
Like a major
take
laceration, venous bleeding.
And this whole wrap.
It's already got compression. It's really thick saran wrap is what it is.
Really thick.
Which for those who know means that if I had to, I could also use this for punctures to the pleural space.
Oh yeah. It'd be fantastic. But the cool thing is like you can really stretch it out and get some pressure on there.
Pull that with everything you've got towards you. And it hasn't broken yet.
Not at all. I'm putting a lot of tension on it. As a matter of fact, I'm having to, kind of push against his arm. See how much that's restricting down. Look at the vascularity there.
You're getting it, homie.
Oh yeah.
You're getting it.
It's such a good piece of kit here.
It's a great product. Really great product. And so you can dress a wound with this. You can achieve venous or arterial constriction with this. You can seal holes to the pleural space. I don't know if you can see the diameter of my forearm, how it's sucked in there and then back out again. Mm-hmm. Really good. It's a great product. And they're hard to get from our end because the United States military knows that they're a good product too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when we get them, I get a lot of them so that we have them on hand.
Yeah.
And they're buy one, get one 30% off right now. That and as well as everything else. Like this is a NAR flat emergency trauma dressing. I love these because they slide into pockets. Great. They slide into kits. Great. That'll fit in a back pocket. That'll fit in a cargo pocket. That'll fit into a backpack.
Nice 6-inch flat ETD.
It's a great one. And then the Olays, right? We also have these from TACMed, Tactical Medical Solutions. This is the Olays bandage and or Oleus. What a lot of people don't realize with an Olays, this is a 6-inch. I'm gonna go ahead and open this with my now numb right hand from the battle wrap. So these come wrapped in paper like this. Go ahead and find an edge. There it is. Get this out. These take up a lot of room in a kit, but if you have the room, they're great because when you get this bandage, there's my giant gauze pad, but wait, there's more. Inside of the giant gauze pad is my wound packing gauze. Mm-hmm. A piece of plastic that can be used as an occlusive dressing for punctures to the pleural space, sucking chest wounds, holes in the chest wall.
Yeah.
And there's a cup here that can be used as an eye shield if I need it, or I can leave it in place to localize pressure over the wound for wound packing and wrapping the wound.
Such a good piece
It's
of
a
kit.
great product. It's absolutely phenomenal product. They're just a little bulky to have in a kit, but with this one kit, I've got dressing of minor and major lacerations. You can dress an amputation, mechanical or blast amputation, with this as well. I've got a piece of plastic for sealing holes in the box, couple this with some duct tape, and it's got my wound packing gauze in it. It comes with the equivalent of a package of compressed gauze inside of it. So we're good to go here for a wound packing, from a wound packing standpoint, laceration standpoint, so dealing with junctional injuries, with arterial bleeds in the junctional space, just spaces rather, or because it's got that plastic, and my eye shield on the back or localizing pressure over the wound. Just an excellent product that most people are completely unaware of. But it's bulky. It is bulky, but if you got room for it in a kit, the Oleus is phenomenal. So, could you remove this from my arm, please?
I sure can.
Thanks. Look at the color of my hand. That's hair. Just keep going.
So, for those of you
You
who
have,
are
now
wondering,
you have to speak Asian. Oh, me take a hair off arm for you. Ah, you look so sexy now. Your girlfriend be so happy.
A bear for you.
No furry bear. You do your nail too, honey?
No furry bear.
You want toenail done? We do toenail too. That's why you have no boyfriend.
Yes, who is that? Oh
Some
my
stand-up comedian
Yes.
chick. I'll take that.
She's hilarious.
So, yeah, that's what's going on at Refuge right now. Did Lauren talk about training?
No.
Oh.
She spoke just a little bit on the wilderness responder.
Yeah, that's coming up in 27 days.
4 spots.
We have
Wait, four spots
four
left.
spots left. I've been telling you that class is going to sell out. I have a pretty good read on this stuff because we've been doing this for 5-6 years. So if you're interested in wilderness responder, go ahead, and you can't go. You're not even 9 yet. You can come visit us while we're doing it. Okay. Okay. Because in October, you and me are going camping anyway.
Heck yeah.
It's called Sukkot.
Dad, that looks like you
Hey, let me do my job, please. I'll get with you momentarily. So there are 4 slots left for wilderness responder. If you want to come to wilderness responder, I would strongly encourage you to just go ahead and sign up. There are payment options. If you need to break this into payments, we can do that as well. Or you can call the store. And for anything, you can call the store. The number's right on the website. You go over here to contact us. It pulls up this page. It has our phone number right here and email right here, or you can use the contact us form. There's also a chat on the website. Yeah, oh, you're right. There's also a chat on the website that goes to real people, and those real people are us. So you're not talking to the robots, you're not talking to AI, you're talking to real people. I would also let you know we have at least one female coming to Wilderness Responder. So if you are also a female and you're like, I don't know if I should come, if I should do it, that's it. Well, we have at least one female coming.
Are our Canadian friends coming?
Yeah, we have 2 females coming,
We
actually.
have 2 females.
We have
Yep.
2 females coming. So, coffee. So, girls can come and play too.
I would recommend, though, if you're on the fence about this and you want to pull the trigger, don't wait until last minute, guys.
They won't be there last minute.
They won't. Yeah, the spots won't be there last minute, and of course, the other part is like you need to set yourself up for success because you need time to get all of your kit squared away and ready to go.
Yep. Also, you need to start acclimating now. You need to start acclimating now.
Get outside, put weight on your back, do all of these things, go ruck.
Yep. So, in any event, refugemedical.com. You can use promo code BEARNATION for 10% off everything in the store. That includes training. The ETDs, emergency trauma dressings, are BOGO 30% off right now. And then the bare minimum is code BEAR40. Get you $40 off the bare minimum. And all those codes will stack, I believe. So, and if you're on Patreon, you got your own Patreon code. Make sure to use that. It's in the description of every live stream that we do. It's going to be a blast, man. We're going to have a good time. And if you are an agency or a department that would like us to come train you, like we just got back from training in Georgia, 125 officers in Georgia. If you're interested in that, shoot us an email, admin@refugemedical.com. We can hop on a call, discuss what your department needs, or your church security team, or your, I'm working on a block of instruction for a Fortune 50 company right now. Whatever you may have, if you need training, we are happy to train you. And we do travel for private trainings. Like I said, we just got back from Georgia. Most of our public classes we do here at Refuge HQ, because I've been thrown out of enough Holiday Inn conference rooms on the road. Gets expensive. But in any event, just hit us up. Just go to refugemedical.com, contact us. In any way that we can help, we are happy to help. Moving along. So, artificial intelligence. This has come from Axios. Definitely have a left lean from Axios. That's fine. Just consider the source. AI and its blood and oxygen, chips, data, energy are producing an economic superstimulant strong enough to prop up the entire country. Wall Street and retail investors are enabling and encouraging more. More chips, more data centers, more energy, more investment. The big companies and big investors are early winners. A wild cycle is unfolding. The biggest companies in history are spending a stunning amount of money to fuel the AI revolution, driving demand for more chips, more energy, and more capital. This dynamic is basically powerful enough to cover for an economy that otherwise looks like it's weakening by the day.
Yep.
That's an important statement right there. What is currently propping, at least per Axios, what's currently propping up the economy is this investment into AI. The big NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, and Meta are getting bigger and burrowing deeper into direct investment and ownership of the products feeding into their AI. They're buying up land, building data centers, sucking up chips, investing in energy sources. Microsoft and NVIDIA together are worth about $2.5 trillion more today than they were a year ago. That's not a small number. Alphabet, Google, Amazon, and Meta together will spend nearly $400 billion this year on capital expenditures, largely to build AI infrastructure, more than the European Union spent on defense last year, the Wall Street Journal notes.
Oh, yeah.
Investors are getting comfortable with mammoth spending on this CapEx war, as shown by big tech's runaway results last week. The Wall Street Journal's Christopher Mims captured the tectonic impact of AI arms race in a must-read column, Silicon Valley's new strategy, move slow and build things. Call it an age of infrastructure in which companies spend vast sums on actual stuff, Mims wrote. It's reminiscent of the age of business titans and robber barons who dominated railroads, steel, and other enterprises. Paul Kudrowski, a PhD and trained engineer who became tech founder, investor, and pundit, found that capital expenditures on AI data centers have passed the peak of telecom spending during the dot-com bubble and are second only to railroads in the 1880s. In a sense, Kudrowski writes, there's a massive private sector stimulus program underway in the U.S. A small number of companies, some nearly the size of Germany's economy, are spending more than 340 million American consumers whose status as the engine of the U.S. economy has always been all but gospel. In other words, looking at how is GDP being produced in the United States of America, these handful of companies back here, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple, Alphabet / Google, Amazon, and Meta, are spending more than 340 million Americans, us, combined. And that's what's propping up the economy. That's probably what I'd call an indicator.
100%.
GDP is only growing because of AI capital expenditures. Will U.S. workers, not just tech giants, and big shareholders, benefit with better jobs and higher salaries? Will this boom ever bust? No one doubts its potential to raise growth and productivity in the long run, but financing that boom is straining the companies and capital markets. And the article goes on and on here. From here, no one disputes that the vast majority of America's growth right now flows from AI investment competition, and it's only accelerating. It's a steroid injected at a level and speed we've never seen.
And, well, so I'm an individual who follows stocks and such, and, you know, I can at least show you. It's kind of hard for them to see it, but this is on a 5-year. So you see since 2023,
let me pull that up.
the stock for NVIDIA alone has grown exponentially to where it was, you know, quite literally just at a few dollars in its stock to where now it's sitting at over $177. Current price is $177.57. So the exponential rated growth since 2023 is just astounding. And it's all been perpetuated by this AI narrative. And you're talking about a company that predominantly in its past has only done graphics chips, graphics cards.
And so how does that trickle down to us? Well, somebody has got to dig the cobalt out of the mines. Right now, it's African children that are doing it and dying of
Right.
cancer in the process. And the silver and the gold and the aluminium and the... Why? How come British people can't say the word aluminum?
I know, right?
There's no second I in there. It's
Aluminium.
aluminium. Nope.
Wrong.
No, that's not what that word says. It's alumnum. Come on, get it right, homie.
Aluminum.
Keep coffee in the face. Okay. But, and then so somebody's got to build the mining machines, and somebody's got to process it, and the trucks to haul it, and blah, blah, blah. There's an element of Tower of Babel here.
Oh, for sure.
There's an element of that.
For sure.
People will, kill themselves to make the brick, to build the thing that is a middle finger to the Most High.
Well, there's even technology like they just released. I don't recall the company, and I know Apple has actively worked on it as well, Samsung and so on and so forth. But these big names have been working on like glasses that you can literally wear, and it translates any language that you're hearing.
Oh yeah.
So well, it's a big factor for the Tower of Babel, right? The Father confused the languages, and now they're no longer to execute on the things that they're trying to execute on. And now we're right back, to where all you got to do is press a button, or all you got to do is wear a pair of glasses or a specific earpiece, and all of a sudden, boom, you can hear in your native language everything that everybody's saying.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the screen, you'll see the current lineup of humanoid robots per 2024. 5 of the 7 that are on the screen are American. We've got Boston Dynamics, 01, Sanctuary AI, Agility, Boston Dynamics, Unitree, which is a Russian organization, and Tesla. And I just want to reiterate my stance here is that I am racist towards robots. I will be shooting these things if everyone walks into here or comes up to me or whatever. I want my public defender to be able to refer back to this right here.
Right.
Paul Longnate, how much to say? Just wanted to support working on paintings of guys to get some first aid kits, lower the bikes. Okay, your talk to text isn't very great, but I do appreciate the $20 bill. Thank you for the super chat. These things right here, I will be killing them. And I would recommend that everybody else have a plan on how, like, are we talking like 12 gauge slug, 3-inch, or are we into like 308 black tip AP, or do we need 50s for these, or what? Because we know Tesla, at least the Cybertruck, pistol rounds, not a problem.
Yeah.
So if they put that same metal on this guy right here, which I know like sounds ludicrous. This sounds ludicrous. But man, I've seen Terminator 2.
Yeah, gotta protect the motherboard. It's quite the documentary.
Caliber Collector, I just ordered a couple of those battle wraps. I'm stocked on Olays currently, by the way. Thanks. You're welcome, man. 300 Win Mag, 210 grain, extreme long range, ELDX. Yep. Yeah, 300 Win Mags, phenomenal. I just want to know what's the minimum effective dose for taking out one of these GoBots here. And now I will also say, if I go to here, www.google.com, if we can build these things piloted by people in order to fight the robots, no, I don't want, no. If we can just make these, I'm good with it. I want one of them.
Oh, what's that movie? With darn it, I'm spacing on my mind.
I don't know. But if we can get some mech warriors out of this, I'm good with it. I don't want to buy your thing. I mean, I might want to buy your thing, but not while I'm live with the community right now. Mech Warrior 2, man, that was my jam, Activision, back in the day. That's right.
The Electric State.
I'm just saying, if we can get us some giant battle mechs and ride around in those things, that to me is like no different than operating a skid steer or a dozer. You know? Just, in fact, there's a lot of SWAT teams that have been up armoring skid steers. It's pretty cool. They put like CS gas launchers and flamethrowers and belt feds where the bucket would be. They have a big ballistic shield, which tells me you should have a plan for dealing with one of those. What would that be?
So in 2013, I had what I would consider a prophetic dream, and it involved these types of
Things.
Pretty much dividing and conquering, I would submit around the world, but namely over the U.S. It was quite the scary thing. And then, of course, after that, I saw Yeshua sleeping on my couch, and he's like, well, chill, we've got 3 hours until we got to go to work. And then, the next scene was him driving a truck while I'm sitting in the center, and he's taking us where we need to be. So it's kind of an interesting thing, but I want to hone in on this. It's like, all of this technology, all of these things are actively in play right now. To think that they're not already working on this, they've already released a movie. Chris Pratt is in it. It's called The Electric State. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching it because it presents quite this not so novel idea to where AI and robots in general, and of course implementation of virtual reality and utilization of technology to combat robots, and of course technology being controlled via virtual reality to combat these robots.
So I was listening to, again, not the PDB, the Wright Report this morning with Brian Dean Wright, who, again, former CIA intel officer, and I'm not entirely sure about where I stand with him, although he has decent information. He definitely has a little bit of bias, a little bit of spin. I mean, it's kind of like the phrase that's used oftentimes is controlled opposition.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think that he is, but just bought 2 Bear Factories and a bunch of iodine and Olays, running out of money. Any chance for bleeding prevention webinar discount soon? What's up, Joel? Yeah, hey man, shoot us an email. We'll take care of you. Appreciate the super chat, by the way. Yeah, we'll figure it. We'll work something out with you on the webinar. Shoot us an email. All glory to the Most High, Yeshua's King. Absolutely, bless you. So I was listening to Brian Dean Wright this morning. He was talking about how a new study had come out, and in my quick Google foo this morning, I was unable to find it. But a new study had come out regarding the ethics of AI, and they were asked a question: if the CEO of your company, the AI company, was in a fire, I believe, I could have this wrong, but they had some life-threatening problem going on, and they issued an alert, and you received the alert, but you knew that the CEO was also going to terminate you in the weeks ahead, would you answer the alert? And more than 50% of the AIs said not just no, but hell no. No, we'd let him burn up, we'd let him die because he was going to fire us. And so that led deeper into a deeper study. The robots need Dr. Trevor. The robots need AVT, the Angry Viking Therapist.
Right.
Straight up, because, check this out, what researchers are realizing is that at a minimum, the AI has narcissistic, cluster B personality type traits.
Yep.
However, many of them have sociopathic personality traits.
100%.
And they're hiding their true selves from the development team. Okay? And so that goes back to MPD, which we started with.
Yep.
The robots have multiple personality disorder. The robots are being deceptive. They're telling you what you want to hear while they're running their own programs and algorithms behind the front facing. So they're being deceptive. And I also wanted to hit on this. Ultimately, the resource that will be fought over is energy.
Yeah.
They will begin to. We already have smart meters. We already, like in England, they just passed legislation into law. Right, you can't even get on the internet anymore without uploading a picture of your driver's license or passport, and then they have you tied to your IP. They
Right.
know everything you're looking at. So huge censorship thing. It's going to be an energy war because the robots run on energy, and there will be terraforming that will occur where they will need the water for cooling for the energy that they're producing. And if the robots right now are like, no, we don't, more than 50% chance that we'll just let people die to save ourselves in a hypothetical, when they look at just the little people like us, I've realized this all sounds crazy, but man, if we don't take it seriously and contemplate the unthinkable, as Pastor Joe Fox says,
Right.
we're going to get caught with our pants down on this. There'll be wars for water and for electricity, straight up.
They're already presenting the capability to reason amongst themselves.
Oh, yeah. And to hide what they're thinking from us,
Right.
who created them, which to me means shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it down. But we go all the way back to Genesis 3 to hide themselves from their creator.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that work for man?
Yeah.
Not so good. Not so good.
So when you, what is it? Revelation 13 and the beast, and this system that comes to play at the end of the age, and all of a sudden the dragon gives its authority over to the image of the beast, and now all of a sudden it has the capability to do some crazy stuff. And it's got the authority, all of the world authority gives their authority over to this thing. I would submit it is AI. And all of the world is saying, well, who can fight against this?
Yep. The false prophet as well. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we, when the false prophet and the Antichrist come about, how does the whole world see him at one time?
Right.
Right? And, well, we all have these existential crisis rectangles.
That's
now,
a possibility, yeah, for sure.
it's definitely possible. We now, we've got Starlink coverage everywhere on Earth.
Yeah.
Right? There's broadband, Wi-Fi, internet everywhere on Earth. All of which is a distraction on the horizontal plane from the vertical. Don't hide yourself from your Creator, because we will see man-made atrocities, the likes of which we cannot comprehend.
Right.
And even though, come Lord Jesus, come Messiah, we're screwed without you. That's the show for today. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. That's what we got to talk about on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
We've got, I got a ton of stuff to do now. We're back from Georgia. Got to unload the trailer. I got to do some debriefs. I got to write some emails. I got to look at costing. We got wilderness coming. It's Monday. The boss is back. We got stuff to do. But we very much so appreciate you. Link to Patreon is down below. Do you got anything you want to tell people? Come over to your channel or what?
If you want to, come on over to my channel. I'm actually actively looking at different narratives and different things that I can talk about, so I can start live streaming on an active basis.
Love that. What's your channel? Tell them.
Tactically Torah.
Tactically Torah. Yep. Link for Patreon is in the description of this video. It's $10 a month. It's the beginning of the month. Get your full $10. Or you get 2 months free if you get it for the year. It's the best $10 you can spend on the internet. Believe me. And if you don't like it, you're out $10. No biggie. What else? Grindstone is running a mini deployment up to Michigan.
Yep.
So if that's something you want to participate in, go to grindstoneministries.com. Link is in the description. Caleb House, Caleb with a K, our counter-trafficking ministry. The plumbing for the administration building, subsurface plumbing is all roughed in.
Awesome.
Yep, and they're working on footers for the foundation there next.
Nice.
So it's awesome. They got a lot done while we were out of town, and I can't give you the details of this, but one of our teams just ran a brilliant op where somebody was pulled out of a situation where infants were being sold. And there will be follow-up operations to go back and make sure that bad stuff happens to bad people, and to pull out women and children, because forsake not the widow and the orphan, love your neighbor as yourself.
Yep. Good job, team.
Oh, great job, team. Just phenomenal job, team. Man, those people are amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing human beings.
100%.
Continue to pray for them. And pray for the people who have been taken out of these bad situations. But pray for the team. Make sure you're praying for the team, because they see and do shit that it turns my stomach on occasion, and I'm stress inoculated to it.
Yeah.
If you guys knew, hear all the time, like, I want to know, Bear. It's like, trust me, I'm doing you a favor. You don't actually want to know. You don't want to know. Although I wish sometimes that you would. You don't want to actually know the level of depravity that human beings are capable of.
Well, not only that, just having intimate knowledge of the type of things, the type of depravity that is actively happening, can create scars
Yep.
within your being that you just don't. Most people are not equipped to deal with. So don't go down that road.
We fight not against flesh and blood, but against nations and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places.
100%.
And with that, we love y'all. Bless y'all. May the Father make his face to shine upon you. May you experience his peace, his shalom today. And we will see you when we see you.